Um, I've been reading about I've been reading the Bible a little more, and um, I've been reading about the the part where it talks about the good shepherd, and only a good shepherd will go after uh, any sheep that goes, no matter how far. He'll go for it. The good shepherd will. And I thought about this, and I'm like, that I did get fetched. Point blank, I admit it. I got fetched by the shepherd, the good shepherd. um, and I admit that. Uh, I got pretty far away from everybody, God. So I did get fetched. So, um, but I was thinking the craziest part is like, it feels like he's been walking me back to somewhere. And now I kind of finally realize where he's been walking me back to. I think he's been walking me back to his true believers, his true flock. You know what I mean? Like you guys, I know a lot of you guys are true believers in Jesus. I know, and so I realized that he walked me to, or brought me to, his true believers. Somehow he brought it together. Like he walked me back to his true believers, his flock. Basically, and that just clicked to me today. Because I never say subscribe. I never, you know what I mean. So he made it happen. That his true believers. Because I've read the comments um, and it over the last period of months, and it seems like you guys are true believers. So, and I didn't think, and he knows I didn't think anybody in the cult I grew up in were true believers. He knows that, like, so he kind of brought me somewhere where there were his true believers. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So, and I do admit it has helped me to be around true believers of him. I know it sounds crazy, but um, because I've never been around like real believers of Jesus. In my opinion, I've been around people that were just faking it, point blank. I've been around people that were just faking being believers in Jesus most of my life, and he knows that, you know. But anyways, um, and I was thinking like another thing that's difficult because I didn't think there was a good shepherd. I didn't think Jesus was the real deal. I didn't think there was a Jesus. All that. So like I tested it. Like if no one cares about me, there's no Jesus. If no one comes for me, no one, there's no Jesus. There's no good shepherd. I tested him, and he knows this. I probably tested him more than any person has tested him on this planet. I I really did. I really wanted to know if he was legit, and he gave a shit about me. You know what I mean? I really did. He knows I did. I tested him with intense suffering. He knows it. That's why I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's insane that he took the same amount of punishment and suffering and came back from it. That's insane to me. That he actually came back from where I was. You know, you know. Um, so, anyways, but yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, holy shit. Someone actually, someone actually suffered the same as me and survived. Came back from it. Somehow he came back from what I went through. You know, whatever he did on the cross. You know what I'm saying? The suffering. He came back from it. All that pain, suffering. He came back. And into something way better now. Probably. Um, but anyways. anyways, I was just thinking about that. And it's probably no accident I read about the Good Shepherd today. It's never an accident. I've learned now. It's never an accident what I read about, because like it does talk about someone that isn't a good shepherd. Someone that's not a good shepherd will not go for one of the sheep that has gone astray very far away. But someone that's not a good shepherd, will not go for that one. So it was interesting because somehow he can watch over his flock and still go for the one at the same damn time. You know what I mean? And that's even crazier to me, in my opinion. So, because it seemed like he had to put all his effort into getting me. It seemed like that. But maybe he didn't really have to put all his effort into it. And that's even scarier. But anyways, that's just something I thought about. But one of the hardest parts about walking back to his flock, basically, to his true believers, one of the hardest parts is like realizing that there is a Jesus, like a good shepherd, and he's legit, because I didn't know if he was legit for so long. And I'm just like, shit, now I have to actually try because he's legit, and I have to keep walking because he's legit. I have to keep trying because he's legit. You know what I mean? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm like, shit. Now it's up to me to try for the shepherd. You know what I mean? I'm putting effort for the shepherd to come back with him. You know what I mean? Basically. That's how it feels. It's exactly how it feels. Like I said, I feel like I've been walking the long way back to his kingdom, his flock, whatever. I've been walking the long way back. For real. That's how it feels. But it feels like we finally got to his real followers. Finally. It seems like it's true believers. He brought me to them. Finally. It took a long ass time. A long ass time to finally find his real flock, his real believers. Because I know a lot of you guys are real believers, so. And for a lot of my life, I wasn't. And God knows that. I wasn't a real believer most of my life. I wasn't. I was like everybody else. I'm just like, Jesus is just a story in a book. You know what I mean? But I did want to know if it was true or not. You know what I mean? So, if nothing else, I just wanted to know if Jesus was true, God was true, that the story was true. If nothing else in religion, just that I wanted to know, basically. And God knows that. God knows I tested Jesus. I say that point blank. I tested him like nobody else. I test him, and I still probably test him, just to see if he actually is as good a shepherd as, and I feel guilty about that, but, but I know he cares, though, still, despite me being who I am, despite being a pain in the ass. So, anyways, so that's why I say, like, I know he cares if nobody else does, because he's shown me that he does care to great extents, greater extents than I thought. This is way farther. I'm way farther than I thought God would ever care about me. Way farther, And I'm saying that honestly, like, I'm always waiting for the shoe to drop, but it never does. It's like it keeps on continuing. That it keeps getting better. It keeps on caring about me. That's how it's been going. The shoe never has dropped yet. So I'm just like, holy goddamn. So, but even if the shoe does drop, at least I knew that um, Jesus was the real deal from what I experienced. You know what I mean? At least I experienced it. That he is the real deal. Even if the shoe does drop, something happens, and I've seen for myself that he is the real deal. He's the good shepherd. I've experienced it for myself. And if the shoe does drop, it will be my fault. Not his. And I know that. Because I know he'll stick with me. If I keep going and trying, he'll still support me, walk with me. If I keep trying, I'm serious. If I don't give up, he'll keep on walking with me. That's how it's been for a long time. As long as I keep going, I don't give up, he'll keep walking with me back to the kingdom somewhere. His flock, we're walking back to somewhere better, it feels like, So, and it's not just me making it up. It really feels like I got separated from the toxic bullshit entirely, and I'm being walked back to a more peaceful arena, I guess you could say, like more peaceful people, more, you know what I'm saying? The real believers, like his promised land, basically, like his promised land of where his true believers are. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but it feels like that. Like he brought me to where his paradise is, of where his true believers are, um, which is a lot of you guys. That's how I see it, because there's no real physical people he's brought me to besides people at the Christian church, besides that and a few other places. But as far as this many people, this is the most people he's brought to me, or he brought me to, if that makes sense, of his real flock, his real believers, his true blue believers. He brought me to them, or he brought them to me. Either way, So, because I never say subscribe, so people have just been coming probably because of him. You know what I'm saying? He brought them to me for support, his flock, brought me to his flock, his real believers. And I don't really like the term sheep because it makes it feel like there's dumb animal or something, because I don't think we're dumb at all. So I just say his real believers, and that's good enough, because I don't see, just because we follow doesn't mean we're dumb, because we're following God, so it's a little different, you know what I mean, than following some person. We're following God, so it's a different kind of a following. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. We're not just dumb followers, because we're following God, so it's different. Because God's, he has our best interests in mind. He's leading us to better life, better everything. It's wise. I'll say it's wise to follow God. Keep following God over anybody on the planet. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see it. That's how I see it. Like, because for me to follow, keep going, pretty much being walked with by someone that's basically better than me in every way. That's basically who I'm walking with, is someone that's better than me in every way. Every way he's better than me. You name it, he's better than me. Jesus is. I'm serious. He's better than me. He's the. You think a human would walk with me this far and stay with me this long? Hell no. That's why he's better. He's better than everybody else. He's stuck with me for a long ass time. Long ass time. So until I was pretty much led to more of his believers and his followers, his real followers, basically. And that's how I see you guys. A lot of you guys are his real followers. You know what I'm saying? But that just clicked to me today. I'm like, the shepherd brought me back to his real followers, his real flock. Not to the cult, you know what I'm saying, that I grew up in. Not there. He didn't bring me back to there. He kept walking with me till his real followers, even if it's just on YouTube, it's his real followers, you know. So, but anyways, that's all I want to say. But it does always, you know, when someone's walking with you that's better than you, that's been through more than you have to keep walking. You know what I'm saying? You have to, in my opinion. You know, like I said before, I'm like, he knows I haven't been through more than him. He knows that. So he can, you know, and I know that I haven't been through more than him. So basically, even wounded as I am, I know that he's been through more than me. So I keep going. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, I know. But anyways, I keep waiting for the shoe to drop, but it never does. He keeps walking me towards something, a better life, a better existence. And so far, I feel like he led me to his real believers, whether it's in the Christian church that he led me to, or on YouTube. Both of those, I feel like he led them. He led me to them, or he led them to me. I'm serious. He orchestrated it somehow. You know what I mean? I don't take any credit for the subscribers. None. Zero. It's all God. All of it. It's God doing it. Today I'm just like, just make it work, you know? I'm like, it's YouTube's kind of getting stressful for me. Just make it work, you know? There's so many subscribers. I'm trying to keep up with all the comments, you know, just take care of it, you know, just make it work for me, you know? Make it happen, you know? I don't really understand YouTube anyways, you know, for the most part, you know. A lot of years it was just me. No subscribers, you know. A lot of years it was just me. So this is a whole new arena for me. But I feel like God thought I was ready for it. So he brought all the subscribers to me, you know, his followers, you know, out of nowhere, basically. But I guess it feels like God thinks I have something beneficial to say. That's how I feel. Like he thinks, even though a lot of people in the world may not think that, God thinks I have something beneficial to say enough to bring his real followers to listen to what I have to say. Basically. Not just INFJs, not just starseeds, even if people don't think they exist, he's brought his real followers of Jesus as well, you know, all together. And yes, there's just there's the haters and the trolls, and you always have those. But and I admit I've kind of been that kind of person, so I don't judge. I admit I've been kind of a pain in the ass in like recovery forums, kind of. So I get the temptation to troll and just mess around. So I get that. I understand a lot of things. You know, even that end of things, trolling. just to fuck around, Um, but I think God sees that I have experienced a lot of things. So since I experienced a lot of things in this life, many things, he thinks that's beneficial. And I asked him, I'm like, is that why I experienced so many things in this life? Like, so I could help better or something? And I felt like I got a yes. And I'm pretty sure he's talking to me when I ask those things. Um, but anyways, 'cause I don't really have anybody else to talk to, if I'm honest. Like, in real life, I don't really have people hanging out with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just like talk to God, see if I get an answer. Because I feel like I'm like, if he's watching me this closely, he should be able to answer what I ask him. Anything I ask, whether he'll answer me in my mind, you know what I mean, or that. So I'm like, if he's watching me this damn close, as if he's watching a hair on my head closely, that close, I'm like, he's definitely gonna listen to what I'm asking him. And I asked him, I'm like, have I been through the most out of anybody on the earth as far as suffering goes, as far as experiencing things go, you know? And he's like, yes, you know. I felt like I got a yes. And I'm like, is that why? Because was that to help me understand Jesus on a better level? Not on a complete level, because I don't think you can understand Jesus on a complete level. But I feel like I understand him on a certain level, like the kind of person he is, all the things he went through, for humanity, basically, just like all these things, like I understand. Um, I understand him to an extent, not a full extent, because I don't think that's possible, but I understand Jesus to an extent, and that's what I asked God. I'm like, do I understand Jesus to a certain extent? And that's why I was suffering all those things. I was allowed to suffer all those things. You know what I mean? To understand what Jesus went through. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. I didn't go through everything he went through. And I admit that. But to an extent of what I could handle. And I feel like that's why I was allowed to go through so many things. That's why I was allowed to. So I could understand all the shit Jesus went through. All that shit. I'm telling you. He went through a lot of shit. A lot of shit that people don't even know about. He went through more than just getting nailed to a cross. He went through the suffering of everything. He suffered everything. Mental, emotional, spiritual, you name it. He suffered everything. He descended below everybody. So he's been lower than everybody. You know what I'm saying? He went through a shitload, more than just getting nailed to a cross physically. You know what I'm saying? And that's true. It says that he suffered everything. Everything anybody's gone through, he's suffered it. He's been through it. And knows how to heal it, basically. So, and a lot of people don't know that. They're just like, he just got nailed to a cross. And because anybody could get nailed to a cross, doesn't mean that he suffered. They suffered for everybody. Anybody could get nailed to a cross. I could get nailed to a cross. Doesn't mean I suffered for everybody. You know what I mean? So he did something with God to have him suffer everyone's pain and suffering. Everything that anyone's ever gone through. God allowed him to suffer that. Experience that. so he would know how to heal it. Um, at any time, basically, for anybody. He would know how to heal that. Basically, that's how I see it. No matter what it is, he would know how to heal it. Spiritual, mental, physical. He would know how to guide you to heal it, repair it. He would have that knowledge to how to guide you or how to heal you from that thing. Doesn't matter what it is. So when they say he's the master healer, I think he really is the master healer. You know, he heals in ways that I would never even thought. You know what I'm saying? In a good way. He heals in ways that I would never think of. He's definitely healed me differently or helped me differently than I would ever thought, you know, so far, you know. But anyways, that's all I really want to say. That's all that was pressing on me, was just the Good Shepherd, you know, analogy. Because it is true, you know, he is the Good Shepherd, you know, maybe the only Good Shepherd, in my opinion. He's the only Good Shepherd. According to that definition, going for the one that goes way far away, so far away, so far away that no one could reach it, you know, the Good Shepherd can get that one that got so far away and retain his flock at the same time. That's what the Good Shepherd can do. He can bring that sheep all the way back, no matter how damaged that sheep is, no matter how damaged that sheep got in the wilderness by itself. I'm talking about myself, about how damaged I got in the wilderness. Shit, you know, because it's true. You know, I got pretty damaged in the wilderness by myself, and God knows that. So I've just been walking back as a kind of a well, I don't want to call myself damaged, but God knows what I'm talking about. I got kind of roughed up in the wilderness, in this world. I kind of got roughed up pretty bad, you know. So, and then the Good Shepherd pretty much found me dead. Literally, he found me dead out in the wilderness. That's a true statement. That's a damn true statement. I was completely dead in the wilderness when the Good Shepherd found me. True story. He knows it's a true story. He knows it's a true story. He knows damn well. Because he got me. And he's walked with me from there. From me being dead, he's walked with me since that point. You know, got me up from being dead. Got me walking, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get me alive again, you know. Walking back to his flock. The long ass way back. Long ass way back to his flock. That he yeah, but I don't know, hope that makes sense. But it makes sense to me when I think about it. I'm like, he was really leading me back to his true followers, you know, because I really believe a lot of you are his true followers. You truly follow him. You truly believe in him for real. Like, no bullshit. Like, I truly believe you guys, a lot of you guys are true followers of Jesus. So, anyways, but that's all I wanted to say, I guess. But yeah, I think that's all I'll say for this. But I am pretty grateful. He has led me to better people. You know, I feel like he's led me to better people, kinder people, more Christ-like people. You know what I mean? I feel like he knew what he was. He knew what he was doing, as far as leading me to better people. You know, that were like actually real better people, like good people. I feel like he did that. purpose, you know. But anyways, that's all I wanted to say for this video.